Meet Kurt the Fool, a guy who struggles to stick to his morning routines. Every night he sets an alarm clock with the intention of working out. He wakes up to the dreaded alarm clock. The first thing he does is he checks his phone. Oh, there's notifications. Click, click. He unconsciously scrolls through TikTok and watches a girl twerk. Suddenly, Kurt feels an intense desire that overpowers his whole being. He can't contain himself anymore, and he gives in to self-pleasure. He tells himself, I swear this is the last time. But deep down, he knows he's lying to himself. Kurt is a liar. He made a vow to improve himself, but he never keeps his promises. His attention span has been reduced to dust. He can't seem to stay focused. Kurt fails to understand that his days end as they began. Then there's Solomon, the modern sage. He naturally wakes up at the same hour every day. He doesn't need an alarm clock. Solomon knows precisely what he needs to do to start his day off. He plans his days ahead of sleep. He jumps into his morning exercise and follows it up with meditation. Solomon is disciplined and purposeful, and he understands the value of his attention span. He doesn't just squander it on mindless scrolling of temporary pleasures. Solomon knows what he wants and stays focused on his goals. He understands that he needs to prime his mind for hard work so he becomes resistant to the challenges he'll face that day. He's prepared for whatever life throws at him. I remember this one time, my dad came home tired from work. He's an immigrant, so he barely speaks any English. He had a paper in his hand, because he couldn't read, he told me, "Son, I need your help with something." You know what I told him? "Not now, Dad, I'm busy, let me finish this game." While he was out there busting his ass to feed this family, me, his own son, his flesh and blood, wouldn't give him 2 seconds of his time. My dad nearly drowned coming to this country, and I couldn't put my phone down to help him. I swear, when I told my dad, "Not now, let me finish this game," the sadness and disappointment I saw in his eyes, it melted my heart. That day, I decided I need to wake up. Do you ever sit with your family and friends and immediately check your phone when you know you should be present? Don't lie, I know you have. We all have. There was a time where my attention span was non-existent. Over the years of damage filling my brain with dopamine, I craved instant gratification 24/7. My brain was fried. I couldn't have the attention span to watch a movie. I couldn't even watch something entertaining, let alone be present during dinner with the family. Imagine trying to have a deep conversation with a close friend, yet you're checking your phone multiple times in the midst of having a conversation. You miss parts of the story and you don't fully understand what you two were even talking about. Imagine trying to read a book but constantly having to look away after a page or two. You have trouble remembering details and forming a picture in your mind. It's hard for you to even sit here and watch this video because there's no dopamine spikes. Your attention span is worse than an animal, worse than a monkey. Our culture has created a nation of mindless zombies who can't focus on anything for more than a few seconds. We are addicted to the dopamine hits from our constant screen stimulation. So actual human connection and deep thought has gone out the window. We would rather live half lives numbed by endless short videos of brain-dead influencers than to actually engage with people face to face. Modern technology has ruined us. We've let our attention spans degrade and our minds atrophy so we can endlessly scroll and click and swipe. We've traded real wisdom, knowledge and understanding for useless videos and pointless distractions. Attention spans have never been shorter, and it's a sign of how pathetic and deprived we have become as human beings. We need constant validation and instant gratification just to function. So when life gets difficult, we pull out our phones rather than face the difficulty and the reality head on. Our undersized goldfish brains need constant stimulation to keep them from being bored all the time. Actual thought and conversation are too effortful, so we stick to mindless garbage that requires no focus or insight. And then we wonder why our lives feel so shallow and meaningless. Humanity is doomed because modern man can no longer focus for more than 5 seconds. We're a species of goldfish-brained idiots scrolling through an infinite feed of useless crap. We've sacrificed meaningful thought, deep knowledge, and wisdom for the constant dopamine hits of social media to feel good. Our attention spans have degraded to the point where actual intellectual thought is virtually impossible. Most people can only handle memes and headlines. Long-form essays, books, and complex ideas are completely lost on a population addicted to a mindless stimulation of their phones. Civilization itself depends on the ability to sustain focus and to think critically, yet attention spans have fallen below the level needed to sustain it. The pathetic state of modern attention spans prove that we are a devolving species instead of evolving to become better. We are losing brain cells with every mindless click and swipe. Just like a muscle, if we don't use it, it becomes weak. When we don't utilize our focus and our attention, our brains literally atrophy from disuse like a muscle shrinking. We are descending into a state of collective idiocy. Ask yourself, why is there so many people with autism and ADHD? Genuine human connection has been lost. We are too far out of reach as we embrace our collective descent into brain-dead morons. Give it a few more decades of viral videos, cat memes, and mindless social media, and humanity will no longer be able to think altogether. Our capacity for reason, logic, and insight will disappear as attention spans continue to shrink, leaving behind a race of subhuman creatures capable of nothing but reflexive clicks and meaningless posts. Modern life has resulted in a collective dementia that threatens to reduce the living human mind to an empty shell. We are an empty shell of who we can be. But it's not entirely your fault. These apps are meticulously crafted to be attention grabbing, designed by experts in human psychology. They literally have teams of behavioral scientists behind the scenes to purposely make it more addicting. Why else do you think there's infinite scrolling, unpredictable notifications, and instant rewards? When Instagram first launched, it was simply a place to share your photos with your friends. But over time, Instagram realized that in order to make more money, they need to maximize user engagement. So they experimented with different ways to make the app more addicting. The reason why I never go on Instagram anymore is when you go on there, what do you see? All you see is ass. Ass. They promote sexual content like it's water because they know guys are desperate. That's what they want. But guys are too lazy to even make the effort to approach a woman, so they're left there pleasuring themselves. Every change was crafted to hijack users' attention by activating psychological triggers of novelty, validation, and unpredictability. The result is that apps like Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok have essentially hacked our brains. They have hacked our psychology to become attention-sucking vampires. And the more attention they capture, the more data they collect to further enhance their designs, and the more ad revenue they generate as a result. These developers, they don't give a fuck about you. This is an attention-grabbing economy. They just want to make money. What is the cost? Our attention span. Brothers, we can no longer let these people rob us of our time. Our mission as men now is to reclaim our attention spans. Luckily, there is a solution. Meditation. This will help you get back your attention span. Do this with me right now. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. The moment you lose your focus, become aware of it. Become aware that you lost your focus and bring back your attention to your breath. Keep doing this and incorporate it into your schedule. The power to focus is inside you. Claim it now. Rebuild your ability to pay attention one moment at a time.